God said, this is your time to not only step on his neck, but let him know, just like the title say, now what? Because my Father said that I'm still worthy. Because my Father said that I'm still good enough. Because my Father said, it's not about what you say, it's not about what other people say, it's not about, even about what other people think, but it's about what God has to say.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Effective Woman of God podcast. I'm your host, Tashifa Hardy. And on this episode, I'm so excited because my accountability partner is on, my friend, my hype man, all of the things. Y'all heard me talk about like dating God and all these type of things, and y'all get to meet the source of that prophecy that I got today. So I'm going to welcome Sabrina Barr to the podcast.
Hello.
How you feeling?
I feel good. Blessed. Highly favored.
And so Sabrina is, like, y'all heard me talk about my accountability partner multiple times. This is her. I got a prophecy about dating God again. I think I had got it a couple times, but Sabrina kind of like, anytime that Sabrina gives me a word or say something, it just like stick a little different because she blunt like me. So it'd be like my ears perk up a little bit, I guess. Or maybe you're just anointed. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But yeah, I remember she gave me a word about dating God again, and it was like the kickstart to like my journey of like my dates with God and falling in love with God again, and you know, just all of the good things. So, you know, she be trying to act like she don't got the gift, but
yeah,
she got it. All right, so we're going to get started. I just want you to tell me a little bit about Sabrina. Like right now, I know you work, you're the church secretary.
Yeah, that on there.
She don't like to admit it, but you know, you're a big part of the ministry. You honestly are an accountability partner for a lot of people. You know, you kind of like are the journal for a lot of people. You know, everybody feel good to talk to you, even though they say that you blunt or your family say whatever. But yeah, but yeah, who is Sabrina?
Well, it just depends on who you talk to. Well, I think my biggest personality I got, because I'm number 5 out of 7 kids. My dad's a pastor, like Sheikha said, and just basically I'm the church. They say church secretary. I help a lot of my different siblings with their businesses. Like my sister Tina, she has artwork, and I'm her manager. I also have a regular job that we're not gonna put out there. But you know, just putting God first. That's really what I do, and I just feel like He's my, you know, God is my king, like my heavenly Father, and because He's the king, I'm His princess. And then people say I have a princess personality, but you got to, because who my father is. Period.
Okay, and so today we're going to be talking about, since, you know, she was the one that gave me that prophecy, we're going to be talking about dating Jesus today.
Okay.
Okay, so before we get into dating Jesus, who is Sabrina like? Because, you know, like you said, you're a pastor, like you're a PK.
Mm-hmm.
And
not that guy.
No, bro, let's clean it up. But first of all, what's your relationship status?
Single.
Okay. And so I want you to talk to us about, because right now you're single, and I know we've had a lot of conversations, and like you really helped me in my single walk, and you're really like firm on waiting for the person that God actually sends for you. You know, let's talk about Sabrina from like a kid to today. Like, what did that journey look like with you, like finding Christ and get into the place of like how strong you are in your faith and how you stand in your relationship with God now?
Like the relationship part, or just all that?
How you found Christ, what that looked like, how did that like blossom?
Well, I guess everybody has like a journey, and different things. Being PK, you always at church anytime. You're always there. I could say the first experience I had is when we were still living in Pontiac, and I actually opened the Bible for myself, and I might have the Bible my parents bought for me. So I had to be like 7, 8, 9, somewhere in there. And I opened it up and I just started crying. So, and I was just reading it. So that was like the first, like,
wait, why you was crying? Like, come on, you're like,
because the Spirit of the Lord. That was my first, like, I mean, you grew up in church, you have different accounts, but that was like personal, because it's different, like, you in the building and you feel like, oh, that, you know, the Holy Spirit in there and stuff like that. But that was like the first, like, I guess, like alone time, yeah, with God. And we left Pontiac. At first, I did not like it, because I'm like, y'all took me to Holly.
Caught your shot.
It was. And people try to say I was a little, they try to say I'm ghetto, but I wouldn't say that. But it was a very, Holly and Pontiac is totally two different worlds. It's like you step into like a TV show. It's like, it's totally different. But I thank God for it now, because I don't know if I would be the person I am today if I would have taken Pontiac, because some of my friends were a little different. That's all I'm going to say. But when I was in high school, middle school, I was a very flirty person, even in my early 20s too. But I could say you can be in a house with a bunch of people, but still not feel seen. And like, even like, I was allegedly in a rap group at one point. Allegedly.
Looking up on YouTube.
And so my parents, like, well, it was more my father, you know, because the oldest one sings, so they made the younger ones rap. And I didn't want to do that. The youngest two wanted to do it, and even Angelina would say she should Beyonce the group. I'm like, we got to do Beyonce. So we were rapping and stuff like that. But to me, it's just like, I'm doing it, but it wasn't like something I wanted to do. I didn't feel like, it's just something like, they were being Joe Jackson about it. Like, they was outside making us run, like, we had to rap our parts and like do suicides outside. Like,
it was boot camp.
It was Joe Jackson. And so even the older ones, that even like my sister Gina, she would be yelling at us. We were on the way to go to some church to go perform somewhere, and they were like, "You need to practice," and all this other stuff, which is so funny because that one didn't like singing, so it's just so weird. Like, when you look back at it as an adult, look at stuff, but it made us who we were. We did end up winning first place in the talent show with our schools, so that was, I guess, a cool experience or whatever. But I was still around that time, like, I was still finding myself. And so I just felt like alone. I would argue a lot with my siblings, even though, like, we're super close and always been close. But it was like a lot of arguing, and even though my mom really didn't allow it, but I just had a mouth. One thing you can learn about me is it can be lethal, and without Jesus, let me tell you, I'm saving people. Not saying stuff. But with that whole, what I said earlier about like I'm a princess, and like, he's my father, he's my king. Like, I didn't feel seen until that's when I really started in high school, like, finding my own relationship with God. I would say for myself, and I remember just like being in my room, like, crying out to God, because and I'm not gonna cry, because I didn't feel like I feel, you know, I know my family loved me, but there was a love that was missing.
Yeah.
So that's when I ended up saying, like, oh, Jesus is my best friend. And people, you know, he's my father, but there's a difference when you say, like, my best friend. Like, he's still my father. He's my, like, he ride and died. He already died for me, so he just riding. So I was crying out, and I'm just like, he's my best friend. But everybody has their own version of friendship. But to me, like, if you're my best friend, you're going to tell me about myself.
Yeah.
I'm not always right. Yeah, I know people think that I think that I'm always right, but I'm not always right.
Yeah.
And a best friend is somebody that will love you unconditionally and check you about yourself.
Yeah.
And so there was things of Sabrina that had to be stripped away.
Yeah.
Now, will I pop off? Yes, don't try me. But I'm more likely like, okay, what is God, you know? Or if I do, like, I'll go back like, oh, my bad.
Mm-hmm.
I needed a Snickers or something. Like, I shouldn't have
Right.
reacted that way. So that's when I got really close with God, and just like He's my best friend. We eventually stopped rapping, praise the Lord. And just really just focusing. As soon as I left high school, I did go to college for a little bit. I didn't finish, but really, I feel like real life experience is really better, because I had managers above me that were trash and they had degrees. The degree does not make you smart.
No.
It's just pass the class.
And now they got ChatGPT, so
They all cheat.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. You know, just got my relationship with God after that. I mean, I was still flirting and hanging out.
I was gonna circle back.
Okay.
I heard it.
But I just really I feel like, I know you said you're gonna circle back, but my parents got married. They were both virgins when they got married. I'm still a virgin, praise the Lord.
Yes.
But my parents got married when they were 23. So in my mindset is, if you turn 23, you can't just be flirting for fun.
Yeah. No,
It
for
was
real.
sport. I was bored. So I just felt like once you're 23, and some people are like, oh, that's too young or whatever. And I'm like, no, you got to stop. And so with me being like different jobs and stuff like that, like once you hit a certain age, especially if you still work in retail, you have people younger than you. So I will always tell people, oh, 23, y'all got to stop.
Yeah.
Whether they were saved or not, I'm like, you got to let it go. You can't keep doing the same things that you do. And so I can say, like, just from having that mentality, it actually, like, opened the doors to me, like, actually being able to, like, minister to people on my jobs and stuff like that because of, you know, my testimony and just how, you know, I was saved, not out there.
Alright, so when you said you were flirting,
Girl,
what
yes.
did that look like? Like, what? Give us that, you know. Because I know you talked to, like, you made comments about it before or whatever. Like, I know, like, some of the details.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, what was that? Like, was it just, like, oh, like, out in public, like, you flirt? Or was, like, what was the extent, or what was, like, the minimum, you know? Minimum to maximum.
I mean, like, I would hang out, okay. I would hang out with guys. Okay. But I was always more like a cool person. Not talking about myself like I'm all that or whatever. But most of my friends were always guys. Even in high school, I always had like a lot of guy friends and stuff like that. Maybe because I had a lot of sisters and girls are crazy. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I always got along real good with guys. But you know, you working and you're young and you're at a job and you're bored and there's just people around. What else you gonna do? Go fold clothes and not talk. And to be fair, everybody in my family's a little flirty. So if anybody come back at me,
Not you, girl. You're being
I'm throwing them under the bus, running them over. But you know, just like texting, you know, we did have. I'm young enough. We were, you know, texting and stuff like that. I did go out on dates with guys. Never had a boyfriend. They weren't getting that title, but yeah. But what
you know, this is getting juicier than I thought, actually. So
yes.
Okay, so you went on dates.
Yeah.
What kind of dates did you go on?
Oh, I've been to the movies. I've been go-karting, Dave and Buster's.
So it was like fun
stuff. You know, I'm not like, you know, we went out to eat.
Yeah.
I love my food. Movies. I love the movies, you know.
So what boundaries did you have? Because obviously you said they never got the title boyfriend. And you're still a virgin.
Yes.
So what boundaries did you put in place on these dates? Like, you had to have a limit of like, okay, I'm not going past this.
Well, I can say that the guys I've always hung out with or befriended or whatever, they always respected me as being a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's like the most important thing, because if you don't respect me being a Christian, then you don't respect me at all, because that's what I am.
Yeah.
Like, some people like, oh, like, Well, I know, like even like in the Christian hip hop, like, or area, like they're like, oh, well, I don't like when people say I'm a Christian rapper. You what you rapping about?
Yeah.
You ain't rapping like Tupac. Yeah. You ain't shooting nothing out. You talking about the Lord. So
Right.
what are you?
Yeah.
And so to me, it's like Christian is first. Before I'm black, I'm a Christian. Like God before everything. So. So you have to respect me. I'm not hanging out with you if you don't respect me.
Yeah.
And I can say, nobody never tried to pressure me, but I always hung out with guys that respected me. Now, if you're asking, have I ever kissed a guy? I have. Okay. But I was like, it's really hard for me to like somebody.
Yeah.
And I like somebody. And then, they were really sweet about it because they asked before they did it.
Yeah. Okay.
You can't just be going out. I think it's very important, especially as if you're trying to keep yourself. Because even if you're not a virgin, you try to keep yourself and you're like getting fresh with God, like a baby Christian, whatever. Like, set boundaries. Like, some people, like, well, I had stopped, like, once I got out of high school, especially I was driving my own car, I said, oh no, I'm not doing secular music anymore.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
I don't recommend it anyway because it's not good for your spirit. But you got me singing a love song. I'm like, why do I? He not cute, but that song is making you you open yourself up.
Yeah.
Like even watching Hallmark movies, you might be caught up. Like you have to be careful. Like know your boundaries. Like I have a sister Katrina. She wants to wait until her wedding day to kiss somebody. Power to her. Too late. But you gotta. But the most important thing is to be with people that respect your boundaries. And if they don't, just cut them off. Like, and I just think, like, I've always had people that, the person, whatever, they asked before they did it, and before they asked, before I kissed me or whatever. Which I was, that was very nice and respectful. Yeah. But you gotta know people. First of all, you gotta respect yourself first, because if you don't respect yourself, the other person's not. Yeah. And you gotta respect your relationship with God. Because they're not going to do it, whether it's just somebody you're dating, you talking to, or just a regular friend.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's for real. Because I think that was, like, my biggest thing. Like, you can't hold somebody accountable for your walk. Right. Like, it's your walk. You have to make the choices. You got to make the decisions. You got to stand on your relationship with God. Like, do you really love God? Or are you just infatuated with Him? Like, are you just infatuated with the thought of God? Because I think sometimes people like the fairy tale Jesus, and so they don't really want to like die to themselves, and
which is crazy because Jesus flipped tables.
Yeah. But that's really good that you had those boundaries. And what did you, just for people, like, if they're asking, like, okay, well, how do I know if this person respects me? How do I know if this is somebody that I should even give a chance with dating? How do I know if they respect my walk? Like, was it just because you had already spent time, like, working with them to know, like, they respect you? Or, like, what were things that you look for to see, like, the level of respect they have for you in your walk?
I ain't gonna lie, most of these people saw me out, okay? But bring the church. First off, and I know some people, they hate that. Like, why bring somebody to church? Like that was the rule that my mom kind of had. Like, oh, they can take you out, but they can't take you to church. That don't make no sense. Like some people do have their own churches, but people do visit other churches, and you kind of want to see the other person's church because their church might be kooky, and they might be kooky, and that's a red flag. And you're like, I'm done. Yeah. But yeah.
Okay, yeah. I didn't like it. She used to tell me this all the time. Bring me to church, bring me to church. I was like, I'm not bringing it. Because, okay, this was my thought process. My thought process was, I'm just going out in a couple days. I'm just trying to have a good time. Everybody, to me, like, before I got saved, I already had the mindset that everybody don't need to meet my parents. Everybody's not worthy to meet my parents. So it kind of still transitioned to, like, everybody ain't worthy for me to bring to church. So I don't need my church people thinking this is serious, and this really ain't serious. Like, like, I'm just doing
like, this is just...
Yeah, this is just...
what if.
But now, I feel like it's kind of, to me, it's like, I'm not even trying to waste my time. So I'm going to bring them to church. Because I'm getting old. It ain't no...
First of all,
this ain't... this ain't nothing. Like,
Girl,
girl,
a tad older, so you're not older.
I'm just a tad older. But now, yeah, I'm like, okay, like, I don't have time to waste. I'm not in that space no more where it's like, oh, it's not that serious. No, it better be serious.
But you also gotta think about it. Would you bring your friends to church? Yeah.
They need it.
Would you bring your friends to church?
Yeah, so yes. I mean,
And you know your mom gonna get somebody a word.
yeah, she relationship prophet.
Or somebody in the church.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, our church. Yeah, you can't just bring. And I think that's what it probably was too. I honestly, if I can be like transparent, I think too when you already know this is not the person in our church, you don't want to waste your time bringing them because it's like I'm gonna get a word and it's gonna force me into obedience like most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna force me, or it's gonna just constantly be playing in the back of my head where I can't even enjoy my disobedience. Like, I'm just being real. Like, so you know what? I'm not even gonna bring this person to church because I know I'm gonna get a word. Like, somebody's gonna say something. And so I think that probably was like some of it too, like because you already know this ain't the person, so you don't even want to bring them. But not like if you are truly dedicated to God, you know you shouldn't really be dealing with somebody that you know is not it because it's not gonna do nothing but make you fall. Like you know.
But it's also important if you know that person is not for you, you let them know.
Yeah.
Like
now.
It is what it is.
So okay.
Oh Jesus.
And then we're gonna get to Jesus, I swear. But I'm saying like dating Jesus. But so I feel like now I say it so rude, like, and I don't mean to say it rude. Sometimes I play around how to say it, and then I'll be like, okay, God, like, show me how to say this, or give me the words, something like that, like you know. And then I feel like God will present an opportunity. But I don't wait for his words, and I just say, or maybe it is his word, I don't know, but I just say it. Yeah, and then it come out, and it be rude. So, like, how do you break it down to people like, you're not my husband? Like, you're not who God has promised for me.
I say no, thank you.
Okay, what if it's, like, someone that
you like?
Or that liked you, or you've had past encounters with them.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I feel like sometimes people feel like if they had access to you once, that they can still have access to you, and they don't realize that that person is
gone.
Yeah, like, I'm no longer that person. So what does that conversation look like?
Yeah, it's not going nowhere. I don't know what to say. No, but, like, there was where I liked somebody or whatever. But honestly, it's very hard for me to actually like somebody. Let's be real. But if it's somebody I really like, I'm like, God, just let them get a girlfriend. Send somebody.
Yeah.
Send somebody.
I feel like you told me that, and I prayed it. They still ain't got no girlfriend.
God, I was like, I didn't want to do it to my girl.
No, for real.
Well, or just like God, just like take like the desire for me not to like that person anymore. Like let them do something that's gonna irk me.
Yeah.
And then she's like, okay, no, red flag.
No, them removal prayers definitely work. Always on time.
And then like that's the best thing I would say is just like pray that.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you can be caught up in more in the person than the person is for you. That was never my case. You know, but it was one person was mutual, but the other ones, not they was just there. But you just gotta pray to yourself, like God, like help me with the words, or just even like you tell them once, like it's not going anywhere. You gotta be careful because sometimes you might have a situation where you were a little flirty, and now they just popping up everywhere.
Yeah, I swear.
You try to hit the delete button and escape, and then they just don't work around.
Yeah. No, for real. Yeah. Okay, so I did have this on here. I kind of skipped it. Okay, why are you single? I mean, I think it's probably kind of obvious, but
why am I single? Because I want to be. Well, first off, it's a save factor. Like, I'm for real saved. I want somebody for real saved. I want somebody that is sold out for the Lord. I know people don't believe it, but God can send you a spouse. Can't send you a spouse. Because if he would tell you, like, I know there's somebody who said, oh, I don't believe God can tell you, I can't believe, they can't tell you who your spouse is, but God can tell you no. If he can tell you no, he can tell you yes.
Yeah.
God ain't schizophrenic. He know what he doing.
Yeah.
Exactly. That makes no sense.
Yeah.
So basically, waiting on God. And then it's just like the guy would have to. I have a lot of siblings.
Yeah.
Before, like, my mom passed away, but I'm like, you have to be on both parents.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but if you can't get, my siblings have it easy because the person just gotta get through me. Okay. Important to them. I'm the problem child.
Yeah. So just the one you gotta make it through.
You know, the other one's like, but you know, I just look for red flags quicker.
Yeah.
And maybe that's because of growing up in the ministry, and my parents were always very honest. Like, my parents had a beautiful marriage, but they're always very honest about, like, things that were going on in the church, or you see what's going on in other people's lives. I'm very observant. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, I spot things like, that's not going to work out with you. Like, some people like stage 5 clingers. I can't do that.
Like, what?
Stage 5 clingers. Like, they're calling you all the time. Like, it's okay. Good morning. It's okay.
Yeah.
But if you call me 10 times within an hour,
no, yeah, that's too much.
That's your problem.
Yeah, that's
if
too
you
much.
know I work at 2 different locations,
you
went to 2 different jobs, you're crazy.
Yeah.
Why are you talking to me? Like, there's like red flags.
Yeah.
So my thing is just wait on the Lord, and I ain't gonna lie. People might talk about me. There's a financial level you got me at. Because I am 30 plus. So you had time to build. You're not real together. You should already be well established.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Just really family. They have to understand, like, my dynamic with my siblings. Mm-hmm. That's, like, very important to me. Like, because at the drop of something, I will go and do something for them or help them out.
Yeah.
And so to me, it's like, it's very important to respect, that relationship.
Okay, so how do you wait well? The other day, I was like, Sabrina, I can't. I'm like, I can't. I'm like, when is he gonna come? I don't understand. And I was having a moment, mm-hmm. and and then my mom and most people was like, oh, everybody have their moments, but I feel like I was in that moment for a minute, and I was like constantly being like, why can't I just be like Apostle? Like, Apostle always tell the story about how God had to tell him that he was unhappy, mm-hmm. and that he was just prayed up, and maybe it's because I ain't prayed up enough, but
Apostle, I mean, he he's a virgin when he got married, but
yeah.
he had girlfriends, okay?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Apparently, the girls were liking him. Oh, it's a lie. That's what they say. I heard some of his schoolmates confirm, but that's what they say.
But yeah, but he still,
but he also went on a fast. God told him to fast from girls.
Yeah.
So maybe he's got fast from the brothers.
That's what I haven't fasted. Now I'm decent though. I'm chilling, honestly. But I had that moment, and honestly, what actually released me to just be like, okay, I'm chilling, is like, I was still in my moment, I swear, maybe like last week, but it was only happening at nighttime, and I'm like, this is the devil, because this is the loneliness trying to creep in. Yeah. And I remember like telling my mom like to come in a room and like pray for me, because I was like, I'm like, every time it's time for me to go to bed, I feel this wave of sadness. And I'm like, it's like I'm just waiting to get home to be able to share my day with somebody, and I don't have that right now. And I was like, I keep asking God to give me grace and give me strength in this season and stuff. And she was like, you're praying the wrong thing. Like, you need to pray that God gives you rest in Him in this season. And I was like, And so I was listening to her, and I ended up praying it, and it was like literally like it just went away. I'm like, whoo, that was powerful. Girl, that one little word. Like, to get rest. I'm like, why didn't I think of that? I'm like, but that really like helped release me. Like, and but you and we had a conversation about it too. But I feel like you just you wait well. I mean, I know you told me, like, in the car, like, you have your moments when, like, certain things is happening or whatever, but for the majority, like, you wait well. And I feel like when people don't wait well, they have to wait longer.
Yeah. Well, I will say thank you. I feel like, especially like if you actually like when you read the Bible and stuff like that, it took time.
Yeah.
Most stuff was like overnight. God can do stuff in an instant, but a lot of times you're waiting, or it's because God is trying to get something out of you.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's just like God's, like I said, he's my best friend. He's my father. He knows what I want. He knows exactly what I want. He know better than me, because he might be like, Sabrina crazy. She needs somebody not crazy. Like, you know what I mean? So for me, it's just like he knows what's best for me. And I think because, like, going just back to ministry, that's why I thank God for First Lady and Apostle for being transparent for different things that was going on in the household. So when like when trials or tribulations would happen, it's just like sometimes there's a waiting period. There's a process of you staying there for a while. But when you see like the blessing when it's over, it's just like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
So to me, it's just like, why worry? Why fret? If God wants, and I'm to the point, if God wants to bring a man, he can bring a man. If he's down right now, you know, we chilling. I got Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, and I know that sounds like, maybe some people like, girl, you crazy, but really because my relationship is so strong with God, and just like I wake up sometimes like, hey Jesus, like, hello, like, what you doing? Like, you know, I just have like just normal conversations with him, because it's like, he knows me. And then it's just like, even like when my mom died, I was just kind of like, I couldn't even like question why.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, he knows what's best. And if it was her time to go, she might have been really like, I need to be with Jesus. Like, I don't know. But just like, I can't question him because he knows what's best. It's kind of like when you're in a car with your parents. And like sometimes we like waiting to go to Cedar Point or Disney World or whatever. And we're like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? And just like, it doesn't change the time frame. You just make the person, you know, your parent upset, and they just want to slap you or something.
Yeah.
You're like, why you keep asking? Like, we're gonna get there when we get there. And as a kid, you're not really paying attention to the clock or nothing or whatever. So it's just like you're saying, like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? And it's just like, just wait, just chill out, enjoy. Look at the sky.
Yeah.
Look at the stuff around you. Like, look at other things that God is doing in your life. So it's just like, to me, it's just better to be patient. Like, they're in the wilderness for forever.
Yeah.
Forever too long. I mean, what's the matter? Wait, you got the girls had to wait 7 years, another 7 years, and working.
Not just waiting, working.
Well, maybe somebody right now is working on the 7 years.
So then they got the wrong one. God, like, we gotta get rid of that 7, and now you gotta work another 7 because I gotta clean you up.
So it's just like, I just like, and I always prayed, and maybe it's crazy prayer. I'm like, God, if somebody got me crazy in a relationship, or somebody got me wrong, I'm like, let me be the one with the issues. I can fix myself. Let them be together.
No, for real. That's true. I'd rather deal with my own mess than somebody else's. And
then, you know, sometimes, like I said, people have to wait because sometimes they're not ready to be in a relationship. They're not open to be in a relationship. And to be honest, like I said, I'm 30-something, 34.
Not you don't know.
I gotta think about what month it is. Like, I'm 34, so to me it's just like, even though like I still lived at home with my parents, because I just felt like, why would I leave my mom? That was my ride or die. Like, why? So it's just kind of like, I still was a claim grown. I didn't claim I was grown until, I mean, I have grown responsibilities, but it just, I like to be a child. So like, I wasn't even mentally there, to be honest. People would say, I mean,
that's what you stop saying, I'm a child guy.
I'm still a child guy. Okay. Because children still get gifts. Okay.
But I wasn't mentally there.
Yeah, so a lot of times people are not mentally there, they're not ready.
Yeah.
Because when you're married, and I thank God that my sister Angelina was the first one to get married, because like kids, marriage, like, it's like you have parents, but it's different seeing somebody else that you're close to, like, man, you have, like, if you're sick, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You still have a spouse, they're still there. You still have kids, They don't go away. You have to push through.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be selfish.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying I was a selfish person, but it's just like there's more to it.
Yeah.
And
you don't get a break.
You don't
get
get
a break from being a wife.
You don't.
Yeah.
So,
because I swear, sometimes when I hear my dad say he calling my mom, I'll be like, one day I had it for her. I was like, can the lady get in the house? Can she put her bag down? Like, and I was like, Jesus, I don't even know if I want the man. Like,
maybe asking for too much.
Yeah.
Man, let's be real. Sorry. All men are slow.
No, they are.
It's just what type of slow
need
do
to help.
you want?
Yeah. This is why they needed to help her. Help me. No, for real.
They are slow.
But you know, I think I had to too like be grateful for the season that I'm in, because I'm like, I literally had to tell myself, like, because one day I just was like, I'm gonna get off work, I'm gonna go buy me some flowers, I'm gonna get this, like, you know, and I'm like, all these things I'm gonna do for me. And while I was riding home, I had this moment where I'm like, I need to enjoy this, because once my husband comes, it's not I'm gonna get off work and I'm thinking about me. Like, you know, it's like, no.
Yeah.
You have to think about him and his needs and, you know.
It's like a whole thing.
I can't even.
It's for real though. Like, you have to think about that other person.
Yeah.
It's a
You
lot.
got so disturbed.
I mean, I can. It's a lot.
Yeah, no, it is. And then especially when you have kids, and people will always be like, oh, you should try to have kids right away when you get married. Absolutely not.
I mean, you could.
Absolutely not.
You could. I mean, it happens. My parents did it.
Absolutely
And Gina
not.
did it.
Absolutely not. I need a break. All the nieces and nephews I got, when my husband find me, we need to just be gone for like, I don't know, but
Be gone. And then your mom might be like, oh, I'm not helping with kids.
no. I already told her, don't get too burnt out now. But, okay, so you talked about, you know, your relationship being so strong with God, and, you know, that's why you don't feel the pressure of, like, needing a man, or, like, that's why you wait well. So, how do you date Jesus? Like, what does that look like for you?
Just being alone.
Yeah.
I enjoy my alone time. I really I don't really like people too much. Like, I like people, I love them with the love of Jesus.
Yeah.
You know, I can be around people, but I like silence.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's just like being alone in my room with the Lord, or just even like being in the shower, just talking to the Lord. Because especially if I'm going through something,
Yeah.
and you taking a long hot shower, and then like you need to like really pray some things down.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I be all up in
In
the
the shower.
Just, you know, you gotta get it through. Because ain't nobody gonna bother you in the shower. You might be in the room, they might come in there like, girl, what is
That's
the
true.
Lord.
Well, actually, in my household, I still get bothered in the shower
See,
if I'm taking too long.
thank God for Tina,
Yeah.
big sister. So really just being alone with God, or like, even like, you can pray and say, like, oh, like, what do you want me to do today?
Mm-hmm.
Or like, even like, I love going to like a bookstore. I have a lot of faith-based books, and like he will like lead me and guide me, like even sometimes like business books to buy and stuff like that. Just like, or just looking at nature. I thank God for my cousin Spencer. Girl, I go outside. I'm not outside like that, but I go outside. Nature. Like when I was in Colorado, I went to go visit my cousin Spencer. I love him. Just one little baby. He's a grown man, but whatever. And we were just like in the mountains and just looking at stuff, and we were just like by this body of water, and I was just like he took a really cute picture of me and Tina, and we're just like both like just praising God, like just looking at
I didn't
nature.
see that picture.
Oh girl, I didn't put it all on the internet,
And I asked you,
and I didn't look big either, so that was he did a good job. I almost got
I literally asked you for pictures. You sent me an ice cream picture.
Well, you said food.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
I didn't really take pictures of food, but just like looking at little things, like God made that,
Yeah.
and like it's just like it's just
Aww.
what.
I always ask you to do Bible study or stuff outside. Y'all don't never want to do it.
But see, when you're in the mountains, it's bugs.
Yeah,
Like
that's true.
we was sitting on rocks, not near the water. All I saw maybe one ant. God knew what he was doing. So it's like, it was just different just looking at everything like God created that.
Yeah.
And it just like, it didn't seem like real to me. Like I was like, God really did this before.
Yeah.
So to me, it's just like, God, it's like he cares so much about the little details.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the rocks or like just look at the little flowers or, you know, just like dirt, just like looking at the different things, like how intricate it is. It's like God he paid so much attention to all these details and just nature.
Yeah.
Just think about the little details he cares about you.
Yeah.
So to me, it's just like, just looking at that just reminds me like, man, God is amazing.
Yeah.
And he really loves me because that trip, honestly, I really needed it. It was like a reset. It was like peace. It was just like to go somewhere and just, I think that was the first trip that nobody got on my nerves.
That's good.
Girl.
We me and Mom were like, make sure y'all relax, make sure y'all, so that's good.
Yeah, so any trip with Spencer he almost got me camping. That's how much the Lord was thinking.
Your blackness.
Almost had me camping, and then I'm like, how was the bathroom? That's what got me.
Somebody just brought up camping, and I was like, if it's not an RV or a cabin, I'm not doing it. I'm not being in nobody's tent. Okay.
It was like a bathroom, but like when you go to the park, it's like a bathroom, but it's like really a porta potty.
Yeah.
And I walked in, I said, I will hold it till we get off this mountain. When I came out, Spencer was like, I knew you weren't going to use the bathroom.
No, absolutely not.
This is above me. I can't. I will hold.
That's dope though. Like a lot of my dates with guys in the summertime was like outside, and mine's is like water. Like I don't know why, I just feel so much peace. Like even if I just look at it, like just the sound of it, and like me hearing like the wind and like the birds and everything. And the crazy thing is I did not get like that until I started like spending time with Jesus and like gave God my life. Like before, I was going outside with one thing only. And that was to turn up.
Well, you were turning up in a different way.
Yeah. Turn it up for Jesus. No, for real. Yes, like before it was like, I'm not trying to be outside. Like, okay, but now it does make you appreciate God. Like, and it just reminds you like of His glory, like and like the things that He's done, and it's amazing. But God does lead me. Sometimes I'll ask Him like, what is our date this week? Do you set a specific day out of the week for your dates, or is it just kind of like when you feel like you need that time?
No, I don't like set a specific day or whatever, but I'm usually like in my room by myself. And then sometimes when I work, because I work at home some days, and then sometimes in the office, whatever. It's just like, to me, like music is very important to me. As you know, shout out to Forrest Frank. That's the homie. That's the homie. Like listening to music has always been like, I've always been a music person. Like I said, used to listen to Chris Brown back in the day. I'm not gonna name them all, but so I've always been really into music and stuff like that. But that kind of like relaxes me. Even sometimes classical music. I have a range, girl. Ooh, yes, classy. No. But just like real peaceful time. Like I like being by myself. Because I feel like when you're by yourself, like I know some people can't, because like my sister Tina, she can't turn off her brain. Yeah, I'm like, turn off.
Yeah,
like,
just go to bed.
Yeah, how can you not turn off? I don't know. Thank God I don't have that problem. But it's just like listening to music, just focusing on God, or just like reading your word. Of course, you should always do that.
Yeah.
But I don't have like a specific day. It's just like if I have, you should always make God comes before everybody else. But just make sure like you have that time, have those conversations. Because I realized even like after I was like going through it with my mom dying and stuff like that, like just I had to like basically kind of train myself, like wake up, like, oh Jesus, I love you, like God, I love you, like I loved him,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna cry.
You can let your eyes sweat. Ain't that what y'all do?
Like he never left me, but there was a different love that was gone.
Yeah.
So it was just like kept saying it every day until it like got into like my spirit really, and just remembering like, you know, God loves me.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like that's what some people do when they wake up. They talk to their spouse or whatever. Some people, not morning people though, or Jews. It's coming. But just, you know, just talking to him like, God, like I love you, or when I do have time, like all the time, because when I was off work, whatever, it's always was like I would do stuff with my mom, or I would do stuff with my sister Angelina and her kids, and so it's just like it's one miracle that's unfortunately gone. So it's just like, you know, I still have my other siblings still to do stuff with them, whatever, but it's just kind of like, okay, like I was gone the other day. I mean, I had to do shopping and stuff like that, but I just went to Barnes and Noble, and then I was just like, you know, gotta get your coffee, just strolling. Even like sometimes you could just be walking around, like in like different places and like stores or stuff like that. You know, just being by yourself, sitting in the car. Some people think that's weird, but just being in the car, just talking to the Lord. And sometimes it's like you guys gotta get it out. Yeah, I'm a very vocal person. And sometimes what you might have inside of you and what you need to get out and say might not be okay for other people that you live with. Yeah. Because you're like, God, you gotta fix these people. You know, and sometimes it's not about them. It could be something that maybe like you, it could be something about you, but you don't necessarily want other people around you to hear. Yeah. So it's just like, sometimes just being in the car, just like, oh, we can have a conversation. I'm not crazy. Let's get that straight, because I'm talking to the Lord. Like, people actually talking to themselves. Yeah. Now that's crazy. And answering. Like, why? Because God answers me. I don't know if he answered me. Yeah. He answered me. So just talking to him and being alone, like in the car. Yeah. Ain't no wrong with shopping with Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah. Because my dates be a little bit of everything, but it's funny how God will show up as like on your dates. It started being like, you know, because your mom, like that was your person that you went and did everything with. In my case, it was like, okay, because I've been in a relationship like most of my life. Like, so there was that fear of like being alone and like not having a person, and then like God showed up as that person for me. So it was like the things that I would probably do with my spouse, like God started being that person. And I feel like people thought like it was weird for me to say, well, a lot of people will say, like, oh, this is so cute. Like, you know, like, I'll post my videos dating Jesus. But you can tell some people think you're a little weird when you say, like, oh, I'm dating Jesus. Like, and I even seen, like, some pastors saying, like, the people that saying, like, they dating Jesus, Jesus already got his bride. Like, you ain't dating Jesus. And I'm like, yeah, he do got his bride. The church. I'm in the church. Like,
you know, they don't understand, like, you're called to date with Jesus, but it's no different than anybody else spending a long time with God. Yeah. Like, there was a time where Apostle, my father, he was on his way home from some trip or I can't remember, some church thing or whatever. And God had told him, like, I want you to get a hotel and I just want you to go there and, like, pray or whatever. And the whole time my dad was like, fussing, like, what I gotta do there? That don't make no sense. Like, I gotta be at home. Yeah. But sometimes, like I said, you at home, like, you got so many different distractions. And so that's just your way of not being distracted. Yeah. That's your time separate along with God. Yeah. And so that's just how people have to look at it. And Apostle said once he got to that, like, he called my mom to let her know, like, hey, God wants me to. She was just like, oh, okay. And he said as soon as he got to the hotel room, he said he just fell out on the floor. Yeah. Just crying out to the Lord because the anointing was already there. Yeah. And that's to be on the hotel floor. Yeah. So that was some strong anointing. Yeah, because he said I'll be on the floor like that. You know what's out here. Yeah, the door was open. So it's just like, It's just you call it something different.
Yeah.
It's just your alone time.
Yeah,
because some people go pray in the closet.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're trapped in the closet.
No, R. Kelly, Jesus.
Because some people are like, why are you praying in the closet?
Yeah.
But that's just where their alone time is.
Yeah.
Everybody has alone times, like
Yeah.
other places. Like sometimes you're in a house with a bunch of people, or you don't have like peace, or you like what you find relaxing, like to get you to, I mean, God is everywhere.
Yeah.
God is everywhere. But sometimes God will strip other things away from you so you can be silent and be by yourself. Yeah. So God has you out of nature because it is silent. I mean, there's bugs. We're in Michigan. But, there's beauty in it. And, it's just like your alone time where you focus. And, like, nature is actually very peaceful.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, because even, like, I remember, like, because sometimes I'll get a room. Mm-hmm. And I remember one time talking to somebody, and it was like, what are you getting a room for? Like, I guess, well, I'm not going to say I guess, I know. Mm-hmm. There's this thing that people get rooms when they want to be nasty. And I'm like, oh, no. I want to date with Jesus because I'm like, I live with people. I live with my parents. Yeah. And it's not to say, like, my parents are fine. Like, they are not, I don't have a traumatic experience with my parents. Like, we get along just fine. Like, I be saying I'm a Velcro child because they try to go out and do stuff, and I be like, we're all going. But, so it's not like it's because of something wrong with my household or the environment, but like you were saying, sometimes you just need that alone time with God, that intimate time, that uninterrupted time with God. And so I'll get a room, and I love jacuzzis. Like, that relaxes me. So I will spend time in worship. And then one thing that's very important to me, though, because I don't ever want people to think that we just out doing stuff, like, and just slapping God's name on it. Like, no, like, we creating a space to have God in the activity or whatever we're doing. So I'll, like, spend time in prayer and worship. If God want me to journal, if I feel like I need to get something out, like, I'll do that. And then, like, I'll focus on relaxing. Mm-hmm. But I'm not just coming up here to chill. Right. Like, I'm coming up here to, Lord, what's going on? Like, do something got to get cleaned up in here? Or maybe I just need some connection. Like, but whatever is, like, good for you is good for you. Like, when you're inviting God in that space. But I know people will just, like, look at it like it's weird. Like, you can't date God. But you can. God will show up as whatever you need him to show up as. Mm-hmm. Like, God has been my counselor. God has been my best friend. If I needed to romanticize my evenings, God will give me those butterflies. Like, I was just saying, I went on a date with God the very first time. And I'm like, I got my butterflies with Jesus. And I do with these ninjas. Okay? So that helped me drop them real quick. I'm like, you know what? I need you. Like, So, whatever is good for you. But before we close, what tips can you give to women or men, anybody that's dating and waiting on God, practically and spiritually, to help us wait well, but not just wait well, but be whole, like, when our person shows up?
I would say prayer, of course, but pray correctly. Not be like, God, I want this. You can have a list, but God can be like, your list is trash. Yeah. Like, you ain't half the things on that list.
No, for real. Okay, before you finish, touch on that. Touch on why you need to be, then for real, then we're going to find out. Why do you need to match your list? Like, why is it ignorant to ask God for things that you can't, like, you're not even becoming?
Like, some people, well, even look at a spiritual aspect. Some people are like, I want a church girl, but you a church hoe. Like, I'm translating. Right. Like, what are you bringing to the other person? Yeah. Like, I think spiritually, you should be balanced. Mm-hmm. Especially, and even if you're just a little bit, I feel like the man should be higher.
He's the leader.
Because me personally, I run all over him. Okay. I might respect you a little. Not a lot. I need you to be more spiritually there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, for sure.
But even, like, I know some people will talk about me because I like people that's more, like, athletic, and they be like, not Sabrina. I said, first of all, okay, I will work out.
My girl be getting her steps in.
I will work out. But, I'm not somebody who likes to, my workout partner got married. Okay? She went and she got kids. Going on a walk with kids is real ghetto. Don't do it. Don't recommend. 1 star. 1 star. I like athletic builds. I like more athletic builds. I like tall people. They be like, why you want somebody tall? Because first of all, I want to look up.
Okay? Say the height. Say the height. Okay. Because I'm trying to get her.
She want me to look. Okay. I prefer 6'4".
Ridiculous.
I would do.
How tall are you?
I am 5'5" and My God, actually, I got measured one day at the doctor and they said 5'6", so I said, you know what? We just gonna keep it at 5'6".
So I am 5'5" and blessed.
So I just like height, but you gotta realize all the people in my family, everybody's taller than me. Mine is Tina. So, and then my brother, when I was a kid, I was arguing with him and I was looking up. So, I mean, I can respect you eye level, but I can really respect you up there. So, but, I already said the financial thing. You gotta be.
Yeah.
Because that's not negotiable.
Yeah.
I was broke as a child. We don't do broke as an adult. Struggling in 30 is just, we're not doing that because I'm not struggling. Yeah. So why are you struggling? What's your credit score? I think that is very important to ask.
No, for real.
Not even
How
ask.
do you ask that though? What's your credit score? What date is that question? Do that question come up?
Before you catch feelings.
Oh God.
I mean,
it's people that have been waiting on their husband all day. So I'm like, you know what? I'm in love. Day 2. What's your credit score?
It's important to ask it though.
Yeah. Because
I got good credit. You want to mess up mine?
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, unless yours is trash and you don't care if theirs is trash. But I built mine.
Yeah.
So I would like them to have a good credit score. And before you even get married anyway. Though, because first of all, if you are dating somebody, especially I'm 30, and I told you, once you're the 23, you can't be out there like Mom. So to me, I always, even when I was in high school, they're like, oh, there are people dating. I'm like, for what?
Yeah.
What job they got? Yeah. You're dating to marry.
Yeah.
That's how my parents always taught. That's how it's supposed to be. You're dating to marry somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So why waste your time? Even though I was apparently wasting my time because I was just having fun. No, I didn't actually like somebody though. But what is your intent? If there's no point in dating if you don't want to get married. I know people are like, oh, that doesn't make sense. You can go out there and just date out. You're wasting that person. You're wasting your time and you're wasting their time. And you're there. That's playing with people's emotions.
Yeah.
It's 2025. Stop doing that.
Yeah.
We all know better.
Yeah.
Just watch a Tyler Perry movie. Don't do it. Get your life together. So I just think it's important to financial stuff. There should be already stuff that you already asking. I feel like a lot of people, they already knew. They'll ask me this random. You can. One-on-one people can ask me questions. I'm gonna answer most likely. But I'm like, I'm not doing that. But then you should ask questions when you want to get married. So ask the questions. I didn't say you gotta ask the first date. I mean, before, and I don't believe in giving people titles, obviously. Yeah. But really, why waste your time if they're not even spiritually right? Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah. It's all fun and games until somebody's heartbroken. Mm-hmm. And everybody has, most people have been there. Or where it's just you crying out, God, I'm in pain. Why you let me be twice? Not even racial, just talking to the person you got out. And you're like, why am I going through this? And God was like, I didn't tell you something else. Yeah. You put yourself in that situation. Mm-hmm. So I'm just not going to put myself in a situation where it's just going to be let's get out. Why are my feelings hurt? And I don't even I don't like liking people like that because it's won't you like somebody to have a type of control over you? I feel like it's a type of control. Yeah. And I don't want you to have control over my emotions.
Yeah, because they do.
And people be playing games.
You start crashing. I don't even know why.
And I know how people can manipulate or say certain things. I can't say that I was flirt. So I
love bombing people. I just found out what love bombing is this year. I definitely love finding people.
Like, you do too much, and it's just like, why make that person go through that?
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't want somebody to be upset. And then at the end of the day, what if that was really just somebody I was supposed to minister to
Yeah.
and lead to Jesus? And now the reason they don't want to go to church. Yeah, where you got your car. So I just feel like you should just ask questions. You gotta be diligent. You gotta, first of all, you gotta know yourself. And if you're not spending a long time with God, you're not gonna know who you are.
Yeah.
And you can be a proper representation of Christ. So knowing who you are, and then while you're spending time, like, I won't even ask God about somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Like just wanting somebody. Like, now God tells you, like, oh, like, these are certain things, like, I want you to pray on, and we're going to do that. Mm-hmm. And don't wait last minute, because then you're going to be 40, and you're like, okay. You can stop kissing at 40, but some people be like that. Though.
Yeah,
like,
you got a time clock.
Which, people can be crispy and still have a baby.
Yeah.
Janet Jackson.
It's actually happening more now.
Probably because they put in the food. Going on, I'm telling you. But I mean, like, if God, I always say, like, if God wants you to have something, He's going to give it to you. Yeah. So why stress them, about it? But you just gotta get yourself together, figure out like what God wants you to do, and if you do have a list of things that you're looking for, and you want somebody to have, make sure at least if you not even have just some of the stuff on your list.
Yeah.
Be around the Lord. Make sure you get your stuff together, because you don't want to mess somebody else's stuff up. Or do you want somebody with kids? No. Some people want people with kids or don't care. Yeah. Some people don't want that.
Yeah.
I waited. I would prefer the person that to have waited. What else is there? Money, clothes, like.
I think you kind of talked on both of them, practical and spiritual souls to be whole.
Yeah, you just gotta get yourself together. And I just wait on the Lord. He got you. He know you.
Yeah. All right. Closing question.
Oh, Jesus.
Just to leave it a little cliffhanger, a little spicy. Bonus question. All right, so your person, or not your person. Okay, let's say you meet somebody and they're 6'4", they make 6 figures or more, they're good looking, and they saved, but you go to God and God says, but this still not it. Like,
then it ain't it.
But how do you process? Okay, maybe I asked the question wrong, but okay. I would say, okay, I answered it already, but some people get the list, and then they don't necessarily go to God because they feel like this was my list and this person matches my list.
Oh no! Once God said, it
should
be
you
your
still?
list.
Okay, so that's what I should say.
You should pray.
Should you still go to your list?
You should still go to God, because that person could be everything on your list, but they could be the devil. They could be a clinger. They could be an abuser.
Yeah, and still say.
Yeah, like there's like, or they can have like a personality flaw. Like they might be somebody like, I can come off sometimes as a person. Shocking. But it's like, or it can be somebody that's too like I don't mind if guys get their nails done. So I like somebody that's don't do polish.
Yeah, just manicure it up.
Yeah,
clear if anything.
Yeah. Real
Yeah.
But I like somebody like you think they're gonna chop some wood. Like you think they can do it. Like, it's in the world, you're gonna take care of it. But if God is telling you like not to do something, like you should always still pray about it. Yeah. No matter what, you should pray about it. Like if I gotta go somewhere and like I feel like sometimes like I like to go walk, so I might hang out with somebody that is of the opposite. We just friends. We just kicking it. We just going to walk or something like that. I'm still going to pray about it. Yeah. Because there could be, like, something could go on or whatever. Like, you should always be prayerful about what you do. Yeah. And I ain't going to lie. If the list is listed, especially because I'm real bad about saying somebody not cute. And he's fine. I'm mad at you like that.
So, come on.
Is this you?
That might be the one time Sabrina gets into the prayer line at church.
No, I ain't even gonna do that. Just tell me. Because I don't want to be on. So you put him get in the prayer line and
see church. like you bring somebody and then be like, no, absolutely not.
And it's real bad because my sisters, Angelina, especially Angelina, she'd be like, "What God say to you?" Because she don't like nobody. I don't just like. Well, yeah, but I'd be like, if God tells me no about that person, that's not my fault. They gotta take that up the Lord.
Yeah, that's true.
That's not my fault.
Well, I hope y'all enjoyed this episode.
You never tell me too much about me.
Okay, what do you got going on? How can people support you, or what's going on with the church?
Well, right now the church is having our Life Month drive, so that's good. Where we donate to local.
What's the name of the church? I don't even think we said that. No.
New Horizons Christian Center. We're donating to a local center where they give stuff to like people, babies and stuff like that, women that are they just need some extra help. And I think it's very important to do that, especially we don't believe in an abortion and stuff like that. We believe in helping out people. So diapers, wipes. We are doing that. You can always bring donations to church. And then also, right now I'm helping my sister Tina. She is about to have her art studio. I'm so excited about it at downtown Auburn Hills. She goes by Tina's Text Portraits and Designs. That's the name of her company. I'm her manager. And she is a very talented artist.
Yeah.
And I can say she's amazing. Yeah. I'm not even just saying because she's my sister. But she's also somebody who she always wanted to do something, and my mom would buy her art supplies, but her art wasn't art.
Yeah.
But when she gave it over to the Lord, it's like masterpiece. So right now I'm doing that. She should have this. Actually, I don't know the address offhand because she just got the spot.
Downtown Auburn Hills.
Yeah, downtown Auburn Hills. It's going to be right above El Cantina. And she's going to have art classes, she painting classes and stuff like that people can do. She's going to have private lessons and different things. So that's what I've been working on, getting that together. And I'm kind of really excited about it because that's my baby sister. But, I like having my hands in other people's pockets. So the truth comes out, Tina. Well, thank you for coming on.
Make sure people stop in when Tina gets her shop open. I'm pretty sure she'll be posting it, posting her classes. So just keep a lookout for that. And then join our church with the Life Month drive. Any type of donations we take. Not any type, but baby clothes, diapers,
formula,
money. But yeah. Thank you for coming on. Make sure y'all comment, subscribe, share this episode to someone that may need it, or just to show your support. And yeah.